The air is thick and humid over America's heartland, a sign of the turbulent weather that's defined this growing season. It's August 2025, and a high-stakes story is unfolding in the cornfields, one shaped by unpredictable storms, record heat waves, and the constant threat of drought. This isn't just about farming, it's about power, politics, and your grocery bill. Every weather swing means risk. Too much rain brings flooding, too little, and the crops wither. Imagine standing in an Iowa cornfield, stalks towering, the silence broken only by the wind, and the anxiety of whether the next storm will bring relief or ruin. Here, American farmers are at the center of a global economic battle, facing not just the elements but also rising input costs, labor shortages, and shifting government policies. They're planting, praying, and hoping for a record crop, but the real fight starts after harvest, when every bushel must compete in a volatile market. Corn enters a global market where prices swing wildly, trade deals shift overnight, and tariffs can erase profits in a single announcement. This year, the stakes are higher than ever. Unpredictable weather, fierce competition from South America, and a president wielding tariffs as a weapon. Brazil's bumper crop and shifting trade alliances add new pressure. Farmers are navigating a minefield of global economics with their livelihoods on the line. Every decision when to sell, how much to store, carries enormous risk. Is American corn being shut out or surging to new heights? The answer is tangled in logistics bottlenecks, export restrictions, and the relentless push for profit. We'll cut through the spin and look at the hard numbers and global forces at play, weather data, export figures, and the policies shaping the market. This isn't just business, it's about food security and economic health, from the farm to your family's table. It's a story of American resilience in the face of unprecedented challenges, where every harvest is a gamble, and every kernel counts. Let's talk numbers, because they don't lie. Despite trade wars and political chaos, U.S. corn exports are shattering records. In 2025 alone, exports surged to 72 million metric tons, up 35% from last year. Earlier this year, American farmers sold a staggering amount of corn to the EU, an 87-fold increase, thanks to a poor Ukrainian harvest. Iowa led the charge, shipping out over 18 million tons, while Illinois and Nebraska weren't far behind. Forward sales for the next season are at a 9-year high. In Nebraska, farmers are reinvesting profits into new machinery, boosting local equipment dealerships and creating jobs. Even with uncertainty, global buyers are lining up for American corn, betting on our reliability and scale. In towns like Decatur, Illinois, grain elevators are running 24/7, and local restaurants are packed with workers. Crop conditions are the best in years, 73% rated good to excellent, with forecasts nearing 16 billion bushels. Even in the Texas Panhandle, where drought once threatened yields, new irrigation tech is paying off. This abundance keeps U.S. prices competitive and makes American corn attractive worldwide. Minnesota co-ops are reporting their highest payouts to members in over a decade, but a massive supply is a double-edged sword. If trade routes falter, prices at home could crash. In Indiana, some silos are already overflowing, forcing farmers to store corn in makeshift piles. The boom is real but fragile, exposing both America's strength and its vulnerability to global politics. Ohio farmers are watching international headlines as closely as the weather. Every record export is balanced on a knife's edge. Economists warn that a single trade dispute could send prices tumbling. The world wants our corn, but the market can turn in an instant. Kansas growers are now negotiating directly with buyers in Asia and Africa. That's the reality for American farmers. Record profits, new opportunities, but also new risks. From the Midwest heartland to the Southern Plains, the corn boom is reshaping communities and futures across the nation. Now, the elephant in the room, tariffs. In the past year, global trade policy has become a battlefield, with corn right at the center. In July, the Trump administration slapped a 50% tariff on all Brazilian products, linking trade to politics. This was just the latest in a series of aggressive moves. Earlier, the U.S. had already tightened import restrictions and reviewed key trade agreements. This move shook the agricultural world. Brazil, a top corn competitor, was suddenly at a disadvantage. Brazilian farmers scrambled to find new buyers while exporters braced for losses. On paper, it's a win for U.S. farmers. Brazilian corn gets pricier, U.S. corn looks better. Exports surged as buyers shifted to American suppliers, and optimism grew in the Midwest. But trade is a two-way street. The EU, a major corn importer, is threatening retaliatory tariffs on American goods, putting those record sales at risk. European leaders argue that US policy is destabilizing global markets. This tit-for-tat war creates chaos, buyers diversify, old relationships fray, and markets become unpredictable. Some importers are turning to alternative suppliers, while others hedge their bets in volatile futures markets. Ironically, Brazil could benefit. A weaker currency could make their corn even cheaper elsewhere. As the real drops, Brazilian corn becomes more attractive to buyers in Asia and Africa, partially offsetting US gains. Tariffs disrupt supply chains, distort prices, and can backfire, hurting both consumers and farmers. Higher costs ripple through the food system, and uncertainty makes planning nearly impossible. This aggressive trade policy is the biggest wild card in the 2025 corn market. Analysts warn that sudden policy shifts could trigger price shocks at any moment. Every tariff is a gamble, with American farmers as the chips. For many, the stakes are personal. Livelihoods hang in the balance as policy decisions play out far from the fields. The global chessboard is shifting fast. New alliances are forming, and traditional trade routes are being redrawn in real time. Stability is out, volatility is in. The only certainty is uncertainty, as markets react to every headline and policy change, and the stakes have never been higher. In this new era of trade, every decision sends ripples across the globe, reshaping the future of corn and the farmers who grow it. The corn market is a global chessboard dominated by three major players: the US, Brazil, and Canada, each with distinct strategies and production methods. The US leads with scale and technology. American farmers use precision agriculture, GPS-guided tractors, drones for crop monitoring, and advanced irrigation systems. In 2024, US corn yields averaged over 175 bushels per acre, thanks to genetically modified seeds and efficient logistics. With vast infrastructure from high-capacity grain elevators to deep-water ports, the US can move massive volumes quickly. When the world needs corn, it looks to America first. Brazil, the challenger, is rapidly expanding. Brazilian farmers often plant two corn crops a year, the main crop and the safrinha, or little harvest. In 2024, Brazil's second crop corn accounted for nearly 75% of its total production, with yields improving due to new drought-resistant hybrids. Brazil's costs are lower, driven by cheaper land and labor. However, infrastructure remains a challenge. Many farms rely on dirt roads and long truck hauls to ports, which can delay exports during the rainy season. Canada, though smaller, focuses on quality and sustainability. Canadian farmers use crop rotation and conservation tillage to protect soil health. In 2024, Canada produced about 15 million metric tons of corn, much of it destined for the US and premium markets. When US tariffs disrupt trade, Brazil steps in with flexible export strategies. If South America faces drought, the world turns to the reliable US supply. Canada remains a steady partner, often filling niche markets and supporting North American supply chains. Every move, tariff, drought, or bumper crop, reshapes the global game. In 2023, a US drought sent prices soaring, while Brazil's record safrinha harvest in 2024 helped stabilize the market. Political decisions in Washington, like the 2024 export tariff changes, can create overnight opportunities for Brazil and Canada. Understanding these evolving strategies and production methods is key to navigating the future of the corn market. The price of corn is shaped by a complex interplay of politics, weather, and global demand, each influencing the other in ways that can be both sudden and dramatic. For example, in 2024, a single presidential tweet about new corn tariffs triggered a chain reaction. Markets soared, then crashed, as traders scrambled to interpret the policy's real impact. Political volatility is the new normal. As one expert put it, farmers now watch Washington as closely as they watch the sky, knowing that a policy shift can be as disruptive as a storm. Weather, meanwhile, remains the ultimate wild card. In 2023, a sudden heat wave in the Midwest slashed yields, while unexpected rains in Brazil led to a global supply glut. Great conditions can turn on a dime. A late summer heat wave, like the one in 2023, can devastate crops. Drought in Brazil, US exports surge. Bad weather here, prices spike. Experts warn that climate unpredictability is only increasing. Meanwhile, global demand keeps rising. As populations grow and diets shift toward more meat, the need for corn as feed intensifies. In 2024, China's record corn imports sent ripples through the market. Biofuels and sustainable materials add new layers of demand. When the EU announced new biofuel targets, corn prices jumped overnight, demonstrating how policy and innovation can reshape the market. These forces constantly collide, pulling the market in every direction. As one analyst noted, it's a perfect storm. Every factor amplifies the others. A trade dispute can be canceled out by a weather disaster elsewhere. In 2022, a hurricane in Southeast Asia offset the impact of a US-China trade spat, keeping prices unexpectedly stable. For farmers, it's a high-stakes chess game, requiring skill, strategy, and nerves of steel. As one grower said, "You have to plan for everything and expect the unexpected. The only certainty is uncertainty." And in today's corn market, that's the rule everyone lives by. Why should you care about corn? It might seem like just another crop, but corn is woven into nearly every part of your daily life. Corn is everywhere, in your food, your fuel, and even in the products you use every day. Walk through any grocery store, and you'll find corn in cereals, tortillas, chips, and even in sweeteners like high-fructose corn syrup that flavor your favorite sodas and snacks. Most US corn doesn't go straight to your plate, it feeds livestock like cattle, pigs, and chickens. That means the price of corn directly affects the cost of meat, eggs, and dairy. When corn prices rise, so does the cost of your steak, your morning omelet, and even your glass of milk. Restaurants and food producers pass those costs on to you. The impact doesn't stop at the farm. Higher corn prices ripple through the entire supply chain, from food processors to delivery trucks, eventually landing at your local grocery store. That's why you might notice your grocery bill creeping up even if you never buy corn on its own. Corn is a hidden ingredient in thousands of products: soda, cereal, snacks, baked goods, and more. It's also used to make cornstarch, corn oil, and even some vitamins and medicines. But corn isn't just about food. It's a major source of ethanol, a renewable fuel blended into gasoline to power millions of cars. Corn is also used in making biodegradable plastics, packaging, and even textiles. When the corn market is volatile, prices ripple through dozens of industries, affecting everything from transportation to manufacturing. Factories that rely on corn-based ingredients or materials face higher costs, which can lead to more expensive goods for everyone. A stable corn market helps keep food prices predictable and affordable, making it easier for families to plan their budgets. Corn is also a cornerstone of food security, both at home and abroad. It's a key export that helps feed people around the world and supports humanitarian aid. Trade wars and tariffs don't just hurt farmers, they can disrupt global supply chains, threaten jobs, and make food less accessible for everyone. When corn shipments are delayed or blocked, it can lead to empty shelves and food shortages, especially in countries that rely on imports. The 2025 corn harvest isn't just a farm story, it's a story about the health of our economy, the stability of our food system, and the well-being of families everywhere. Every meal you prepare, every trip to the store, and every dollar you spend is touched by the price and availability of corn. Every kernel connects to your daily life. The stakes are global, but the impact is personal, affecting your family, your community, and your future. Whether you're shopping for groceries, filling up your car, or paying your bills, corn's influence is everywhere. That's why this story matters, not just to farmers or traders, but to everyone who eats, drives, or shops. The future of corn is the future of us all. Understanding its role helps us all make better choices for our families, our communities, and our world. So where does the global corn market go from here? The answer lies in innovation and sustainability. Around the world, farmers are turning to cutting-edge technologies. Drones that monitor crop health, AI-powered yield predictions, and precision planting machines that maximize every seed. These tools aren't just boosting harvests, they're helping farmers use less water, fertilizer, and land. But the future isn't just about bigger harvests, it's about growing smarter. Scientists are developing drought-resistant corn varieties and exploring regenerative agriculture practices that rebuild soil health and capture carbon. Some farms are even experimenting with vertical growing systems and renewable energy to power operations. Sustainability is becoming a global priority. Major food companies and governments are setting bold targets to reduce emissions and protect biodiversity. That means the corn you eat might soon be grown with a lighter environmental footprint and traceable right back to the field. As climate change reshapes agriculture, the global race is on to make corn production more resilient, efficient, and eco-friendly. The choices made today will shape not just the price of corn, but the health of our planet for generations to come. The corn market is evolving, and as it does, it's planting the seeds for a more sustainable future, for farmers, for consumers, and for the world. As we wrap up our deep dive into the world of corn, let's summarize the key takeaways and explore some actionable insights for those of you interested in the corn market. First, understanding the global corn market means recognizing its complexities, from high-stakes harvests and international trade battles to the influence of politics, weather, and global demand. It's a dynamic landscape where every factor plays a crucial role. Secondly, innovation and sustainability are not just buzzwords, they are the future of agriculture. Technologies like drones, AI, and precision planting are revolutionizing how we grow corn, making it more efficient and environmentally friendly. Investing in these technologies can yield significant benefits for both farmers and the planet. Third, diversification is key. Whether you're a farmer, an investor, or a policymaker, diversifying your strategies can help mitigate risks. For farmers, this might mean adopting new crop varieties or sustainable practices. For investors, it could involve exploring different markets or commodities. Next, stay informed and adaptable. The corn market is influenced by a wide range of factors, including climate change, trade policies, and consumer trends. Keeping abreast of these developments can help you make more informed decisions. Lastly, remember that the choices we make today have long-term impacts. Supporting sustainable practices and policies not only benefits the environment but also ensures a resilient and thriving corn market for future generations. So, whether you're looking to invest, farm, or simply understand the food on your plate, being informed and proactive is your best strategy. The corn market is more than just numbers and yields, it's a vital part of our global ecosystem. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay tuned for more insights and updates on the fascinating world of agriculture. Until next time, keep growing smarter and living sustainably.